All right, welcome to another edition of the Southeastern Sports Network podcast. Robbie Rhodes coming to you this week, as always, with our usual co-host, Mark Willoughby, the voice of the Lions, Duke Harris Field, joining us today. This is our basketball preview segment as we're getting ready for men and women's hoops. Tonight, we're going to be talking about men's basketball, and our special guest this week is David Kiefer, the head basketball coach of your Southeastern Lions. Coach, it's really awesome to have you on here. I know you're really busy right now with your in-season, had your first game last night. We really appreciate you making some time for us tonight.
Appreciate you guys having me. Nothing I like rather do than talk to you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And watch
Coach,
film.
yeah. Coach, played Delta last night. Well, this Monday night. This will be posted on Wednesday. So played a Monday night in the UC. Just your quick synopsis on what you saw coming out of that game, what you liked out of that game, and what you didn't like.
It's always good to get the first game jitters out of the way. We've been going against each other for so long. We've had a couple closed door practices against some other teams. And, we had our Bahamas trip, which seems now like a year ago, even though it was a few months ago. But just get first game jitters out of there. Obviously, I thought we came out the way we needed to come out. We came out fast. We came out, got some stops. I'd like to see the second half, play a little bit better. But, sometimes no excuses for the guys at the end of the day, but sometimes you get those big leads. We talk about playing to a standard here, and it shouldn't really matter whether we're up 30, down 30, tie game, no whatever. But we need to play to a standard, and didn't think we did a great job of that in the second half. But I did like, the 18 assists. I did like guys get on the floor for loose balls. I thought we competed, and I thought we were able to get through being kind of real vanilla with the things that we did.
Absolutely. And as you look at this team and this season, man, we visited and we're going to show some audio, some video clips of some of your guys we chatted with. Talk about the Bahamas trip a little bit. They all talked about that. They loved it. They enjoyed it. And that's a new thing. And just how did that come about and what did you take away from it? Because you guys weren't playing other college basketball teams. You were playing local teams in the Bahamas. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can't play another Division I team. Unfortunately, we would love to, but it's a whole different experience, a whole different style of game. We were playing in a gym that the AC was broken. They said you walk in, the thermostat said 93, and we were gassed. I mean, guys having to get water, getting cramps. We look over there, and the Bahamian national team is barely sweating. So it was a good experience for guys, and obviously you do that for those games, right? And a big thing is obviously bonding, but selfishly as coaches, we get those 10 extra practices in for the summer where they're kind of not unlimited, but in season practices for games that you usually don't get. So getting those 10 extra practices, getting the guys to go out there and bond. We got a lot of returners, but we also have a lot of new guys. We're about split down the middle, so it was really good for those guys just to get to know each other, get some games under their belt, just hang out, relax at the beach, talk, learn about each other. It was a real good bonding experience for our team overall.
Fantastic. We'll bounce around for some questions. Coach, watching a little bit last night, I got to watch about the first half of the game live. I don't know if I've seen a team here, and Mark can probably talk about this a little more, but that runs as well as you guys do. I mean, you guys were just up and down the floor. I thought you had a lot of ball handlers last night. Maybe a little bit of a different looking team than you might have had, but boy, I thought that was really impressive how the guys got up and down the floor last night.
Yeah, we're gonna try to play fast. That's one thing we're gonna try to do. You want to play fast but under control, right? If we can play fast and take and get and steal easy points in transition, whether that be quick rope post ups from Nick or Brody, or a quick corner shot, good uncontested three, or Roscoe just beating everybody down the floor for a layup, we'll take those. And if not, then we'd like to run offense a little bit. I think this year we can play a lot more inside out than we've had in the years past. So I want to make sure that we're not just – we want to push it down there, but we want to slow it down as well too, so we can get good shots. Because a big motto we have is our defense has got to help our offense. And you saw us at times last night getting careless with the ball and allow them to get back in just with being careless with the ball and throwing the ball over the place. And that's where your defense has got to help your offense. We want to get a quick bucket, but at the same time, if we can't get it, let's get deep into the clock. Let's make them guard. And even if we don't make the shot, you've made them guard for 28 seconds. So we really want to get it down on the other side of the floor with 2 or 3 seconds into the clock, because that's really the most vulnerable time for a defense is in transition, because they're maybe not matched up or don't have a guy back. So try to get something early in that clock, and then if not, Now, all right, we're across half court. There's only 27. There's already only 3 seconds off the clock. You got seconds to work now. Let's make them guard for 25 seconds here and see if we can't get a good look.
I like that. Harris, why don't you go ahead with something for Coach tonight?
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
I watched the game last night on ESPN Plus, and sorry I could not be there physically.
It's
But
ring season.
yeah, but I did notice that, what a great like opening night. You had 10 guys get minutes, and you had 10 guys score. So that's got to be uh, a huge motivator, knowing that you can find guys on your bench to add depth.
Yeah.
Going into this season, I mean, are you looking to have, you know, 8 to 10 guys that can rotate in regularly, like we saw last night?
Every game's got its own story. Every game's different, but I feel really good about, and our guys kind of know this. I feel really good about those 10 guys that played last night. All of them can help us. They're all ready. They all have their own deficiencies and the things that they do well for us, and they kind of fit a perfect puzzle for our team. And not to get off topic here, but the new guys we got in, unbelievable teammates, and just have came in and been so coachable. And that's because we have good leadership too. But those guys allowed the guys to be led, and our leaders, did it the right way, and just made the transition process a lot easier for our new guys. But I can see this is probably the deepest team that we've had. Last year's team was deep as well, but obviously, it changed when we, hit free agency a little bit early. But this year I think we got 10 guys that you can trust on the floor. But I think we got 7 that you could start at any time. It wouldn't really matter. Like, you can start Alec Woodard for somebody. You can start Carlos Paez. The 5 that we started last night. So we can play different lineups if we want to go small, if we want to go big, if we want to start out in our pressure. So I like those options, and I think that Dylan Cannaville, Anthony Bitar, as well as who am I forgetting? Cameron Burton, sorry, our freshman, are 3 guys that just bring different things. Anthony Bitar can play off the bounce. He's bigger and stronger than you actually realize, and he can go rebound the ball. Cameron Burton is a weapon from the 3-point. Can really make shots. He'll go rebound. He's physical. Can guard point guards. And then Dylan Cannaville just comes in and kind of just brings us a toughness and athleticism that we, a little bit of Nick Caldwell, but also a bigger, thicker body, and a little bit more around the rim, and kind of knows his role. So I can see us going a lot 8 to 10.
Awesome.
Coach, sorry, Mark, but one thing here, like how this, with the way athletics has been since COVID, how is it for you as coaches in game, in practices, when you got a kid that's as old and has been here as, I don't want to call him old because he's way younger than me, but what I'm trying to say is like Nick Caldwell, guy who's been here this long, and then you have a kid like Cam Burton, who's a freshman, he's a younger guy. I mean, you have some huge age discrepancies, right? Like,
right.
I mean, these kids were, some of these kids were in junior high when Nick got here, right, to start playing. So, like, how have y'all balanced that? I mean, I know there's a leadership role when it comes to these kids getting a chance to lead on the floor and in practice, but I mean, when you balance that as coaches, how does that all work?
Well, just from a practice thing alone, it's different, right? Because you want guys like Carlos Paez to come in who's had some injuries before, Nick who had some rolled ankles and stuff before. You got to practice, but at the same time, when the season starts, do you want them for 115 practices or 31 games? You got to manage that as well. So, Nick and Carlos Paez, Roscoe and Roger, they're going to give you big minutes, and they are getting older. Brody's 290 pounds and he's 6'11". I take that in consideration. So it's a lot of times it's about obviously quality rather than quantity in practice. They go out there. I tell Nick this sometimes because, Nick is old, and sometimes he's looking at, Coach, I really got to do all this stuff. Like, yeah, like we need to go out there, set a standard for how everybody else is going to do it right. And then I'll pull you out. And Nick, Roscoe, like, now you coach with me, and you go around practice, you lead, you coach, you talk to those other young guys that need the reps. But now that we're in season, I would say my first couple of years, I'm going to be in there 2-3 hours. Let's wear them out. Let's grind it out. Let's go. But getting older and just, having your guys have fresh legs, being healthy, being older, and understanding you can get so much done with film. You can get so much done. Sometimes we'll go down on the court, and I love to practice and get after it and be live and be physical, but sometimes we'll just go down there and look. Today we're going to mental sweat. We're going to walk through everything. I'll get a towel, I'll wipe their heads and jokingly, hey, they're sweating. You guys are working your butt off. It's a mental sweat day. Let's slow it all down. Let's walk through everything. And sometimes you can get as much done in that as you can just going full speed. So right now with games going back to back and stuff, we're not going longer than an hour and 15, hour and 20. And I want to make sure our guys' legs are fresh, but we got to be sharp. We got to be crisp. And if not, then if it goes past that, it goes past that. But especially those older guys, they set the tone, and then they help me coach those younger guys. And I think that's, part of leadership, and helps bring those other young guys along. But off the court, I mean, Nick's old, but he's a 15-year-old. So he fits right in with all those young guys. They go to Top Golf, they go to Applebee's, they go hang out with all those guys. They'll go in groups of 15. This team is very close knit, and I'm excited about this group.
That's awesome. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah.
You touched on some of the things I was going to talk about, but let's talk about some individuals. You talked about older guys. Let's talk about Avery Wilson for a second.
Yes.
Here's a guy.
He was moving around pretty well last night.
Yeah, he was. Looked like Bo Jackson running up and down the floor with a basketball in his hand.
Don't tell Selfo about him.
I tell you, but it's amazing. We all, when he transferred in for Boston College, there were a lot of high expectations for him coming in, and he didn't play a ton of basketball in college at BC, and he played some, but didn't get a ton of minutes. So it's been 4 years since he's been on a basketball floor, but you can't tell. I mean, he looks like a guy who just played yesterday, and had a smile on his face, bouncy energy, and just brings a dimension that the Southland Conference really hasn't seen in a while. Just talk about Avery Wilson's play last night and what you expect from him, especially coming off that injury.
Just so proud, for what that guy's had to go through the past couple of years, getting right to the point of being able to play and just season-ending injury, and knowing all the hype that was going around. Because I was the main guy. I'd go around, and I had no problem telling people the year that he was sitting out, this guy's our best player. Wait till you see him, 6'4", 230, plays what position, whatever he wants to be. And he's just tough. He's strong. He's just everything you want. And to watch him just get devastated multiple times and just be crushed. Never really play at Boston College. And, he's older, and obviously he's been in school forever, but at Boston College, he was 17 as a freshman, 18 as a sophomore, it was young. So he's really not that old. I think Avery's only 23 for this is his 7th year of college. But and he's got his master's, and he's got his obviously his undergrad, his master's, and he's working on a second major as we speak. But just so proud of him just to continue to be mentally tough and keep believing. I mean, we've had several conversations. Okay, is this going to be? You want to hang it up? I mean, it's been 4 years. You want to pick a different career path and never wait. I'm going to keep working my butt off, and just to see him get to that point last night. And, every day in practice when he first came back, Avery's 6'4", 230, and he hits the ground probably 15 times every day in practice. And every time he goes down, you're like, oh no. And you saw it again last night, but I've seen it so much. The guy is just all over the place, like a bull in a china shop, and you're going to feel his body, you're going to feel his weight. And I'm just happy he's able to experience that, and his family being there behind the bench and all that. It was a big deal. Our guys were really proud of him. Everybody gave him a little ovation after the game.
That's awesome. Again, just the explosiveness was just seeing it courtside. Doing a game on radio was very, very impressive. And he's not the only guy. I mean, you've got Roger McFarlane's coming back. He had a great season last year, over 12 points, 8 boards, and expected to be the leader preseason all-conference, player of the year candidate possibility in this league. And last night, I just felt like the flow of your team playing 10 guys, it seemed like everybody hit the floor with a purpose. The chemistry was there. Roger just kind of stayed in the flow, got his 14 points, played defense, got after it. But everybody got involved. I mean, you had 6 guys in double figures. You had another player with 8, and we'll get to Cam Burton in a minute. But then you got Paez coming off the bench dishing. So, I mean, you go back to what you were talking about earlier. you could see that team chemistry really show up game one.
Yeah, you can. And one of our deals we talk about is it's amazing what can be achieved when nobody cares who gets the credit, right? And the guys just not playing selfish basketball, not taking bad shots. Bad shots are like turnovers. First point to a transition basket. If you don't know where the shot's coming from, it's going to be a bad one. They're going to be out. And our guys we got a lot of experience, and we got older guys. And there's going to be adversity this year. We got some really tough games coming up, but I think we just got guys that understand, what it takes, understand what a good shot is, understand, just the little nuances of the games. And there's a lot of guys that have been here for a while that just know what I want. So, yeah.
And Roscoe Eastmond.
Coach,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Robbie.
Yeah, Coach, when you talk about a team, I mean, I think fans kind of like get in these modes where the portal and you have new players, but and it's kind of a revolving door, so to speak. But I think you've handled it really well, maybe about as good as anybody on campus with handling the portal and doing it the right way, finding the right kids. And to that point, when you talk to them, like we did last Friday, they all go back to you. Like they all say, "Hey, that guy, I'm here because of him. Like I trust him. Like I trust what we're trying to do." Uh, how is that? I mean, that's impressive to me because you have short. I mean, there's guys like Roscoe, there's guys like Nick that have been here, right? But these other guys that we talked to that have been here for way shorter time out of the portal, they're here because of you. I mean, just talk about how that's developed with you and the players and that relationship you guys have.
I think a big word is trust. And I think with this portal and everything, the way things are going, it's not like it used to be where coaches just have to earn the players just have to earn the coach's trust. Now the coaches have to do that the same thing. There's got to be a little bit of a two-way street now when you open all that, and there's got to be a lot more individual one-on-ones. I think some caring kids got to know what you're thinking. Got to get a lot of communication. And I think one thing about our guys is, and I take pride in our staff in saying this and how good of a job that we've done since we've been here is developing guys, is a lot of these guys, when we took them, didn't have anything else either.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like the chip on the shoulder mentality in my staff here. I got JUCO guys and staff that we were the first opportunity to give them the Division One. Myself, I know when I got the job here, not that I get worried about whatever the people think, but a lot of people didn't think that we would have success. So just having that extra chip and being hungry every day. And we got kids that just like Roger McFarlane, you're talking about a guy that was in junior college that didn't have anybody recruiting him. And, he could play in high school basketball with Vernon Carey and Scotty Barnes were his high school teammates, won state championships and, didn't have Division I stuff after a year of junior college, comes here and he's the hardest working kid I've ever been around. And I've been around some really good players, but there's not a day that he's not in here doing an extra something every single day. And he's just willed himself to be a really good player. Our staff takes pride in just getting our guys better. You can go down the list of players that have just gotten better while they're here. And I can say that we've done a good job, but at the same time, like you got to recruit the right kid that has that chip on his shoulder, that's going to come to the gym and work on their game every day, going to come to the office and watch film and want to be better. And I think we've done a good job in that, and those kids see that. And a lot of these kids want to be pros. There's a lot of NIL money and all that stuff. And we lost a couple of recruiting battles because of that, but we didn't lose our guys because of it. I think that there's a lot of fake stuff going on out there with NIL. And at the same time, like we put on the board the other day, I think 9 guys in the last 5 years that are overseas making money, good money, that are from this program. And if you want to make money like that, you got to go somewhere where you're going to win, where you can have success and you're going to get better. And those guys see that and they believe in us and they believe in our process. And I think that's a big reason why they say, hey, you're never going to bat 1,000, but I think we've done a pretty good job. And I think it starts with what those guys said. It's a trust between each other.
I got one more thing, and then I'm gonna kick it back to Mark and Harris. But Speaking of pros, we had Nate Lofton on the podcast about three
Yeah.
weeks ago, and I know he's
What's
retired
up?
now and he's jacked
Yeah.
up because he can watch the games more, and he's got his ESPN Plus subscription in Denver. So I know he's talked highly about it, and he's been on the road. He said it's hard to watch, but he's like, my kids want to watch Coach Kiefer and the guys now, so they're really excited out there in Denver about this season. I know he's talking about signing up for ESPN Plus and all those cool things, be able to watch the games. But lastly, Coach, and I'll toss it back to these guys. You've been around, and I don't think people know this. You've worked under some really good coaches before you became
Yes.
the head coach here. I know they all mean a lot to you, and I hate to put you on the spot, but who's been your most influential influence as a coach?
Oh, there's so many, and I lean on so many people, to be honest with you. It is putting me on the spot a little bit, but it all starts back from me in high school with my high school coach, who I still talk to a lot. That was the first person, I think, where I developed a love and a passion for the game, because of my high school coach, Randy Schumann. But working for guys like Bob Huggins as a student manager, and obviously Frank Martin was my connection with him, Andy Kennedy, and I went back with Frank Martin to South Carolina. And Jay Ladner was the first one to ever give me a Division I assistant job, and worked with him at Jones Junior College. So I lean on all those guys as much as I possibly can. I even, for about 3 months, was with Steve Forbes. He hired me at Northwest Florida Junior College, and after 3 months, he left to take the assistant job at Wichita State, and he's the head coach of Wake Forest now. But got a chance to work with him for about 3 months until he left. And I still try to keep my relationship with all those guys, because you try to, pick everybody's brain and make it, kind of develop your own thoughts about the game and philosophies through everybody. But can't just pick one when you kind of use everybody as a resource. But even this, my first couple of years here that I was Mark Lieberman, my assistant, has been a great influence. One of the best basketball minds I know, and he was great to have here and get me kick-started as a head coach. Just be able to have somebody that you can close the door and say, "Look, help me out. You've been a head coach. You've done these things." So I still lean on him and talk to him all the time as well. And my current assistant, Kyle Roney's my assistant, but Kyle and I were assistants together under Jay Ladner, and I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't because of him. Kyle's an unbelievable coach, unbelievable recruiter, organizer. Just, I lean on him. So I've been fortunate to just be surrounded by some really good people, and I wouldn't be where I am today, obviously, without all those people as well.
Awesome. Harris, go ahead with you wrapping it up for Coach tonight.
Yeah, Coach, and just to kind of go off of your point, working under some great coaches that are all over the country. That's got to be helpful now in this day and age of NIL, being in a mid-major, and maybe there's some guys. I know there's obviously a pipeline to Austin P, possibly, but just having those guys all around where you can talk, and if they have players on their roster that maybe aren't seeing the floor but they're good kids, that's helpful. That's got to be helpful, knowing that they can call you and say, hey, check this guy out.
Yeah.
That's huge.
No, for sure. And obviously all those coaches I've worked for all have staff members that I was working with there that are spread throughout the country, right? And now with the portal being such a huge thing, you are leaning on those guys that, hey, look, this guy was at our school, high major level. He's our 11th guy, but look, we got 3 guys in front of him that are NBA guys. He's just, they're just that good. But I promise you, he's really good at this level. And really, that you go back to Avery Wilson, somebody on the Boston College staff, didn't play much at Boston College, and he was. And one of the biggest things, like, look, he was 17 his first year. The next year, they had 2 guys get drafted that were in his position. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. He had from baseline to baseline, a top 3 in school history. It's speed, 6% body fat. I mean, he averaged 30 a game in high school. I'm like, sold, but that's how sometimes it comes along. Is you're exactly right. Having those good connections with as many people as possible, especially with the portals, only helpful.
Mark, go ahead with wrapping up for Coach tonight.
Let's talk quickly about the Southland Conference. I know you guys got the bullseye on your chest from the SIDs and coaches coming in, right? Pick number 1 in the league coming in, and it's a league right now that I think is fluid as far as what to expect from a lot of different schools due to a lot of coaching changes, turnovers, and rosters, that sort of thing. And I think everybody's kind of looking at McNeese with Will Wade and what they've done. And they had a big win last night at VCU. But just how do you see this conference? I'm not asking you to predict their, how it's going to outcome, but just what do you see? Or, I mean, there's so many unknowns. How do you guys see it so far coming in?
You know, you always tend to, kind of peek at scores and stuff like that around league, and you look at it, but the scores right now just, not saying they don't mean anything because it's real, but the team who you are today can be 3 months a completely different team. And so we don't, I know it's kind of cliche, but we're just so worried about ourselves right now, and sitting here with the staff getting ready for Auburn so we can try to give Bruce Pearl the best thing we got. But just day by day, just trying to have a good practice, trying to just get better, learn our team. This is a different team than we've had since we've been here. And I do think we're physical. We can score at the rim. So just, tinkering with the offense here, tinkering with the defense, trying to put guys in the best positions for themselves. So it's daily, just, it's like Frankenstein in here. We're just messing around and just trying to get better every day.
No doubt.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Coach, we really appreciate your time tonight. We're going to try to have you on at least once a month through the season as we make our way to March and get you over in Lake Charles, hopefully cutting down the nets and hosting that trophy. But we'll get you back on in December, update the season, where things are going, and we'll also continue to, stop by the gym and watching you guys practice and play. It's going to be great. We appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Right.
Good luck. Good luck at all.
All right, David Kiefer, the head coach of your men's basketball team. We'll take a break, come back, and jump into a little more segments coming up here on the Southeastern Sports Network podcast.
Well, we just been, getting better every day. The mindset is just build each day brick by brick. Coming here ready to work because, we have a championship that we want to win here. So it's just a winning mindset that we've been putting together since the summer, and we chipping away every day. We just got to come in here every day with a mindset to work and listen to the coaches and buy into what they're telling us to do. It's changed because I feel like, the coach has just been stressing winning. So with the coaches just coming here every day with a great attitude, it gives us that extra burst. So we just following the lead of our coaches, and then we just buy into what he's telling us to do every day. And everything's just been changing drastically. We've just been improving each year. So just listening to Coach Kiefer and just buying in on the court is all we've been doing the last 2-3 years I've been here. Just my mindset on just working hard every day, like when the lights are out. So that way when the lights are on, I could be able to perform every game. So just me putting in work every day, just trusting my work and bringing it onto the floors has helped me a lot over the past couple of years. Just continually being a leader and being consistent. As long as I'm consistent with that, everything will fall in line with the rest. Shots will come, everything else will come along. So just being a leader and just having that mindset of winning first, and everything will take care of itself. I'm seeing a lot of improvement on our toughness. Guys are getting a lot more tougher when they first got here on campus. A lot of things were new to them, and now that we instilled what our program, what we built, they're kind of getting the message, and they're buying into it now. So I just see a lot of toughness coming along, and everybody just getting along together. Like our chemistry is a lot better than last year. I can say that. So just chemistry and toughness I've been seeing a lot of that, and which will help us win games. Man, I love Coach David Kiefer. Man, he comes in here ready to work every day, and he never just lets us settle, you know what I'm saying? Like, he always comes in here, tell us to work, you know what I'm saying? So having a coach like that it just means the world to me, because a lot of coaches may take a day off, and Coach David Kiefer never takes the days off. He's always at us. He's always making sure we're saying the right things and making sure everybody's bought in each and every day. It just shows you that everybody's just bought in to winning, you know what I'm saying? Over the past couple of years, I came off the bench, but I was always, in tune to what's going on. So all the guys that were returning, we always were a step ahead. So it brings us to a position that we're in now, which is preseason first team, which means nothing because, we still have to get that championship ring in March, but it just gives us that extra push, and it shows us where we at and how far we came. I'm just very blessed, man. This is an opportunity that Coach Kiefer see me out of junior college, and I didn't have a lot of a lot of coaches reaching out like that. So Coach Kiefer giving me the opportunity to come to Hammond and to help change things around is just a blessing.
You guys have a chance to do that this year.
Most definitely, yeah. We have a great chance to do it this year. Like I said, God's been buying in every day. You know what I'm saying? We just have to come in with that mindset every day and just getting better and keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? We're going to face some adversity throughout the year, and we just have to keep battling until we get to March.
Definitely means a lot to still, be here after 5 years, with the transfer portal now being open, it's just felt like home ever since my freshman year. So, and I got a lot of trust in that guy over there, and he's got a lot of trust in me. So it's really just been the trust and the love that I've gotten since day one. That's just, really. Well, I mean, every year I've had a different team, so it's just been kind of difficult to adjust every team. But this year's team is definitely, it's been easier to be a leader. These guys really listen to coaches, take coaching. So, I mean, this year it's been a lot easier.
You've had,
my sophomore year we had a good set of senior leaders, and then my junior year we still had some good senior leaders, and then now, I can take some leadership this year for sure.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
my role hasn't changed since day one. It's just playing hard and playing good defense, get rebounds, get more opportunities for my teammates, and just playing hard. That's the biggest thing Coach Kiefer tells me, just play hard, and that hasn't changed since day one. You want to be playing your best basketball in March for sure, and just trying to get these guys to understand, offense come, there'll be games we won't make shots. In that game, we didn't make shots last year. Two years ago in the championship, we just couldn't find a way to. It's just got to be defense and, finding ways to get stops if we're not making offensive shots. But just ever since he called me that night to make sure I was still coming here, that's kind of. I had a relationship with him from high school since I was 17 years old, a junior in high school. So I've known him for seven years now, and it's just a lot of trust, for sure. Well, yeah, it's always important to have, my parents always come to every home game, having their support and just being able to go home. Like you said, it's really like 40 minutes to my house, so just being close to home is really important to me, and it's definitely one of my favorites. Just everybody hanging out. Everybody always wants to hang out or do something together, watch a game, but on the court, these guys, I don't know how many freshmen, new guys we have, but it's about half of us, and they've really came in. We've taken them under our wing, and they just accept coaching really well, this team. So it's easier when you got guys like that, and having a senior leading group is also a big plus too. So. Not really big on the personal statistics. I just definitely want to win the championship for sure and get a ring after being here for 5 years. So
it's important stat of all.
All right, man.
Awesome.
Out of high school, it was kind of a different time with COVID. I came out in 2021, so that was just kind of the prime of COVID. Went and did a post-grad year in Kansas at Sunrise Christian. Coach Riley, who was here and is now at South Alabama, he kind of put me at Sunrise. I had no idea what post-grad was. He kind of put me on. I ended up going there, getting a scholarship here, and here I am. So, yeah, it's been big time for me. It's just me personally just locking in on my diet, just doing a whole bunch of extra stuff off the court when we're not practicing, just getting my body right, and I feel great. This is probably the best I've felt in a long time. So it's just the little things and staying locked in on my little routine that I have and what I eat, and I feel great now. So it was much more smooth than I expected. I think that post-grad year really helped me a lot, just because I transformed my body quite a bit there too. So just getting in shape and just learning more things, playing against higher level competition there helped me come in here and be ready to play here ultimately. And then it was just a blessing that I can come in as a freshman and play that many minutes. It's been good. I enjoy it here. Obviously being up in the northwest area. It's a lot colder, a lot hotter here, humid. I mean, it was a lot, like at the beginning, I was like, dang, I'm in a totally different place, but I love it here. People are amazing, food's amazing. It's my home. Start with the Bahamas trip. I think that was really good for our team, just not only on the basketball floor, but just off the court, doing different things, hanging out with one another, being on a foreign trip, just doing everything together out of the country. Some of us never been out the country, whatever. And then just expectations for this year. I mean, our expectations are high, obviously, preseason #1, but we're not satisfied with that. That doesn't mean anything to us. We're just taking it day by day, game by game. It means a lot to me. I mean, he was my first Division I offer. He took a chance on me, kid from Idaho. I trust him a lot. Me and him have some great conversations, just on and off the court. I feel like I can go into his office and I can say whatever I want. Like, I can go in there and say, yo, this is like my personal life, the basketball life. I can go in there and talk to him about anything, so he means a lot to me. I think just ultimately transforming my body will help me be a little bit more dominant in the post, playing a little bit lower, just taking my time. Yeah, really just becoming a better rebounder, not only like in my area, but out of my area. Like, if the ball is on the opposite side of the rim, I want to be able to go get the ball instead of last year. When it comes to me, I get it. No, I want to be able to go chase rebounds.
Go steal something.
Yep, exactly. I think it's going to help me a lot. I mean, just my body feels a lot better than it has in a long time, and just doing different things in the weight room as far as mobility, stretching has really paid off for me. So, I mean, knock on wood, stay healthy, but, you know, I'm doing whatever it takes to stay on the floor for the whole season. So it means a lot. I mean, obviously wasn't here, but from where this program has come to and where it is now, and just being a part of such a special thing. We used to finish last in the league, and now we got the respect of everyone, and we got everyone's respect, and they expect us to finish first. It means a lot.
The transition for myself was a little difficult or whatever. I had a situation that, you know, was a little uneasy going. And so after that, I kind of went into summer, and I was still in school at Austin Peay, finishing with my degree. So I finished the summer with my degree, and then I was in it, and I was going through it, trying to figure out where I would land myself at. And happily, Coach Delonte Hill was good friends with Coach Roan, and he kind of reached out to him on my behalf. And after that, Coach Roan reached out to me. And then after that, Coach Kiefer reached out to me, and I talked to him, and we kind of started building a relationship there. And then eventually I came on a visit during the summer, and I really enjoyed the culture that we had. More so of the coaching staff, I felt like they were more genuine. And so after that, I kind of made my decision on where I would land at. Coming here, I think it was more so of just Coach Kiefer putting his belief in me, which is just putting more confidence in myself. And I felt like last year, that group, I mean, we had a couple humps here and there, but once we figured out that group that was, you know, together, I feel like everything started rolling. So this year's team, I feel like we're definitely a lot older. So I feel like we have a lot more experience. I feel like 1 through 7, and I feel like the 8, 9, and the other players off the bench are just going to do their jobs and follow us as older guys, I should say. And so I just feel like we have a lot of depth and experience, which will be very beneficial to us starting off in non-conference, I feel like. So preseason, I just feel like, you know how we always have 2 teams whenever we're practicing, gold and green. So I feel like green has came a long way with just being more comfortable with themselves, getting more confidence, and gold, because at one moment it was just gold was just strictly dominating. And then green finally found a way, was like, no, okay, we're not doing this no more. And they started to compete more and get more comfortable within themselves. So I feel like just the growth within them is beneficial for the team. And then with them growing, I felt like it started to push in gold more, because at one moment it was just like green was dominating so much, it was beneficial to both sides. So I think just overall, I feel like everybody was getting better, and if everybody gets better, it just helps the whole team out. Just the trip in general, for myself, I just played the first 2 minutes due to something. But just the overall experience, I feel like the team really well, like chemistry was there. Like everybody was happy for one another. Once somebody got in, there wasn't no hard feelings, oh, he's playing, I'm not playing. It was everybody was cheering for each other. To the last man, when Yates got in, everybody was just happy for him. And just, I can speak off this as well. We had a couple scrimmages or whatever against certain teams. And I just feel like,
that off the air.
and I just feel like it was just good, great bench energy. You could just tell like it was actually genuine and that we actually care for each other. Like you see right now, like what is it, about 9 of us are still here just sitting here talking and they playing ones. Like I feel like this team genuine likes each other, honestly.
You guys,
to me, it means, okay, it's granted, I mean, given it's nice to be preseason pick number 1, but to me, we haven't earned nothing. So to me, I feel like we should go in day to day, hard hat, just like we're the last. If we was picked last, it wouldn't make a difference. We're still gonna come in and work hard. But I'll just say this, like, I think we have this group and that we're willing to do what we need to do to get to where we need to go. And so with that being said, I think, just from last year, the tournament last game, it kind of rubbed us the wrong way a lot. And so I feel like with us coming back this year, we'll have a little bit more edge to ourselves.
This is just a chance to showcase my leading skills. I want to be a coach in the future, so it's just a chance to improve my vocal skills on and off the court. Whether it's communicating with my coaches, my teammates, no matter who it is, I just like my voice to be heard. I'm trying to project my voice more, so in the future it could be, second nature. Yeah, I'm healthy. My game has improved tremendously. I'm in shape. I'm more confident shooting the ball. I'm still getting my teammates involved, still pushing the pace offensively and defensively. I just feel like I got better becoming a leader. I just feel like I stepped into more of a leader role. I got confident in not only preaching what I say, but doing, not only just talking to my teammates and telling them what to do, but me actually putting myself out there and doing it and being an example, the leading example. I feel like I've got better at that this season so far. The transfer process was smooth, man. It wasn't difficult at all. This is the only school I talked to while I was in the portal, so it was a no-brainer. As soon as I entered the portal, they were contacting me. They wanted me. They showed their faith and their belief in me early before I even got on campus, and that's just gone a long way. The portal for some people isn't always how it's, how they want it to be, but for me, I found a home away from home. This Hammond America is treating me like no other. The coaching staff, the administration, everyone on campus, they have faith in what we have going here on the basketball program. It was great. It was a pretty positive trip for us. We had a lot of new players coming in. So in the summer, we had to lock in quickly. The summer we had to treat it differently because we had games over the summer. So we had more of a mental focus coming out instead of just trying to get better. We were building team chemistry. We're learning the plays, learning the defense. Everybody was learning a new system. It was a smooth process. I believe that it helped us for the better because out there we did what we had to do. We went out there, handled business, but we built a connection on and off the court that what we had when we came back for preseason. I feel like that's why we are so connected and we're so driven, because we know what we are capable of. We just got to work for it. That's what I believe. That trip showed us what we're capable of for us to work forward. So by March, it's the same connection, but we're going to be better on the court. It's going to be 10 times better. As a team, I'm going to start with that one. As a team, for us to win a championship, we have to approach every day the same. Like, we want to be dominant. Like, for us to win a championship, I feel like we have the team from top to bottom, from senior to freshman. We have the team to dominate this conference schedule. The regular conference schedule, I feel like we have the team to dominate. Before going into the tournament, I feel like we have the team to actually dominate this conference on a day-to-day basis. I feel like for us to keep doing that, we have to keep dominating practice. Like, we want to just bring our hard head and continue to be better every day. No matter if it's getting better at sprinting to the ball, if it's getting better at our sideline or baseline out of bound plays, no matter what it is, we have to dominate and be trying to get better every day. Me personally, I just want to push the pace, be who I am every day. Coach always tells me for us to be the team we want to be. He can have a bad day because he's our coach and our leader, and I can't have a bad day because I'm the point guard, the leader on the floor. So I just try to come in and be myself every day. I try not to have a bad day. I try to encourage everybody using my voice. I just feel like for us to go a long way, we got to have a dominant voice. We got to have somebody that when we hit adversity, there's somebody that the team has to look to. So I just feel like when we hit adversity in practice, when we hit adversity, no matter what we're doing, I just feel like I have to be there and show my voice, show that we're good. Like it's a next play mentality. Basketball is a game of run. So no matter what adversity hit, we're gonna be never get too high, never get too low, in that sort of mindset. And the coaching staff, Coach Caldwell, Cody McCoy, Drew Riley, even the coaches in the previous years, it's just all the family. Like we all know the goal. We have to come out here every day, no matter if it's hot, 70, 80 degrees and sunny, or if it's 32 and snowy. We know that we got to come in here, bring our hard head, and get better every day. I have love. It's a deep love I have for the coaching staff. Not many people could do what they do on a day-to-day basis and treat these young men, or treat us, our team, how they treat us, and coach us how they coach us. It's I don't know, it's special what we have here, man. The way they coach us and the way they treat us on and off the court, it's like they want the most out of us, but they still respect us. And I love Coach David Kiefer, and I appreciate him for everything he's done for me, bringing me to Hammond, bringing me along and making me the leader of his team. I truly have love for that. Not many people have done that for me in my lifetime. So for him to have put his faith in me, he's gonna have my 100% every day.